Welcome to Gamers Talk Podcast in our mom's basement with your hosts, Rage Quit Pat and Headshot Dan.
All right, guys. Also, don't forget to follow us on iTunes and Stitcher. This will be our first ever podcast giveaway. Just go, rate us on iTunes, Google, or Stitcher, and go to innermomsbasement.com and click on the giveaway in the top right, and that's all for the details. So now we're on the part 2. And we're kind of going to go and continue with the conferences here. We're going to go into Ubisoft. And Headshot Dan, as usual, what the fuck is Ubisoft's typical way of starting out things, huh?
Oh my god, dude, the longest concert ever. Like, Jesus Christ.
And guess what game it was for? As per usual, Ubisoft starts off with a ridiculous concert, and it's for Just Dance 2019 to nobody's care, but here it is, Just Dance 2019.
Come on, man. They don't even show gameplay for it. You just have people dance everywhere in weird costumes.
What does it even work for now anymore? There's no more Kinect. There's VR? Does it still...
I don't know, but it's on Switch now, so...
I don't know. I'm lost. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, that's how they started off their conference. Typical. Ultimo XM, thank you for the follow, man.
Welcome to the Man Cave.
All right, so after that horrible nonsense of the Just Dance concert, we saw a little bit more of Beyond Good and Evil 2. We didn't really see much. They kind of showed a little bit of gameplay, not a lot, but they also talked about how you could play the game alone, and you could also play it co-op. And they also brought up Joseph Gordon-Levitt on stage with his hit tree chord program.
I'm a big fan of him.
I love him too. B-Dub 2489, welcome to the stream.
Welcome to Man Cave.
And basically, they're allowing people all over the world to contribute art and other work for the game. So, Dan, again, we didn't see much of Beyond Good and Evil 2. So, what's kind of your take on it?
Well, I mean, it didn't show too much. I mean, we saw that Jade does come back. She returns. They showed the pre-alpha gameplay footage, which was very briefly shown. Besides that, I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks like the game has a lot of potential. If it follows any of the footsteps from number 1, I feel like it's going to be a great game, and I'm really looking forward to Good and Evil 2. And I can't wait to see more gameplay on that. That's what I really want to see is gameplay.
Yeah, chat. What other games are you guys excited for, especially on the Ubisoft side? Ubisoft really brought the big guns to this conference. I did really enjoy this conference. Then when they moved on, they brought out for Trials. The developer, I believe, came out in a nice little motorcycle. Dan, I know you do enjoy the Trials games. They're coming back with Trials Rising, and guess what? It's a February release. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't know where you got. I was a fan from it, but I mean, I had a couple fun times playing it with Diego. But I mean, it's a fun game. It's a good game to fuck around with. Trying to beat some friends in it. So it's not too bad, and I'm really I'm not excited, but I'm glad to see it around. Yeah, man, Division 2, we're definitely looking forward to it. The gameplay did look pretty good. We're gonna jump into that soon, though.
Yeah, I mean, speak of the devil, that's kind of I kind of can't really add to Trials. I never really played it, but let's add to a game that we are going to definitely play, and we have played. The Division 2, man. They showed the gameplay at the Xbox conference, but they touched on more during this conference. 7 years after the initial outbreak, and the crowd was really stoked, and so was I, and I'm sure you were too. Division 2 is getting raids. How about that? That's awesome. 6-man
raids. Yes.
Yes.
It does not come at launch, but we are getting it.
And that's awesome. And it seems like they are going to fix a lot of the problems that were in the first game, and one of the biggest problems was paid DLC. But now, what they also announced, which everyone else was excited, and as was I, and so was Headshot Dan, free DLC, new arenas, new story, new activities, and they showed 3 DLCs that are all going to be free, and that is awesome. And I love that the developers are finally listening to gamers, and that paying for DLC is getting a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, one thing they did an interview with the guy from the Division, not on the conference, but they said, "How is the Dark Zone gonna be?" First they said yes, it will be there at launch, and they said they revamped the Dark Zone completely, so it should be a lot more exciting, a lot better, and a lot more engaging for their players. So I didn't like the Dark Zone on number 1, so I'm really
that was rough.
I really want a good Dark Zone. I mean, I strive on PvP, so give it to me.
One thing I kind of want them to fix too, which I'm sure, hopefully they do, is like we talked about on past podcasts, is that if you were a level, if I was level 20 and you were level 11, they had trouble trying to find a level that was balancing enough, and hopefully they do fix that in this game, in Division 2. Hopefully that also gets addressed, because that was bad as well.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, the gameplay of number 2 looks good. I mean, it looks good.
And it's in Washington, D.C.
And, customization, the player skill sets, and all that look good as well. Looks like quite a few things changed for gameplay-wise, so I'm really excited to see where Division 2 lands for me.
Division 2, and I believe that one's in March. I believe this is a March release date. So thank goodness, because again, like we talked about, February is getting a little obnoxious.
Oh yeah, and you can always sign up for the beta now, because the beta signups are going on now, and then the beta. They didn't say when the beta was coming out, but they just said you can sign up for the beta.
And then we head to another Mario and Rabbids. As we know, this was already announced, but they kind of showed off a little bit more on stage. The Mario and Rabbids Donkey Kong DLC, which releases June 26th, which I believe they had a little bit of a concert for that too.
Yeah, I think
concerts just keep going. Yeah. They just keep going through this E3. Concerts were big time in E3.
Yeah, I'm not too big in the Mario Rabbids thing. I haven't played any of them, so I'm just gonna stay out of this combo.
And then Skull and Bones showed some gameplay as well, and we found out a little bit more about it. It's shared online open world, similar to kind of like what Sea of Thieves is. How do you feel about that, Dan? With Skull and Bones, it's definitely, obviously, as you can tell from the gameplay, it's going to be much different than Sea of Thieves.
The game is a snooze fest. You send a ship and you just shoot all the ships. That does not sound like fun. I'm sorry, but this is one game I'm not going to touch.
Well, they haven't talked about too much. They just showed a little bit right now. It could, obviously from that, they could add to it, of course.
They had a beta for it.
Oh, did you enjoy? Did you play it?
No, I watched people play it. I slept
well,
like
I said, they could possibly add some more. I don't want to shit on it right now. The graphics look great. I don't want to shit on it too much because it doesn't look that bad. I mean, hopefully there's more to do than just besides, like you said, like play Battleship. I'd rather, go on, do other things that be a pirate, so.
Yeah. Whoa, sorry, I almost choked on some green tea juice. But Skull and Bones, we'll see where it goes once we get more information on it. What else do we have from Ubi?
Well, these ones I'm going to kind of fire away a little bit because, there's a new VR game, Transference. Awesome. Star Fox is coming to Starlink. Another Nintendo Ubisoft crossover. It was cool. They brought Miyamoto on stage, and they kind of gave him of the Star Fox ship. They kind of gave him a replica of that, which was cool.
Exclusively on Switch only.
Yep. For some reason, the crowd went completely went nuts. I thought this game was somewhat of a disappointment. For Honor gets a new mode and an expansion called Marching Fire. The new mode is called Breach, and it pits teams of 4 against one another. The expansion Marching Fire also gets they showed off a trailer and will introduce a new faction, 4 new fighters, and some unrevealed single-player content.
Yeah,
and the crowd kind of went a little bit nuts for this. Were you a little bit surprised? I thought this was kind of like a disappointing IP for Ubi.
I told you before, man. This has a big following. Their Pro Sports is pretty big too. For Honor is not that far away. It's. I didn't enjoy it, but it has pretty high player count to it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's a disappointing IP. I don't. That was thank goodness I didn't have a Valentine, because I would. And then if she got me that game, I probably would have asked her to return it.
Yeah, I think the game's somewhere around 7 million. So I mean, there's a million monthly active players. So I mean, I wouldn't say that's bad at all. So.
No. I don't. Of course not. But before we go to the big game that they talked about, Rainbow Six Siege came on stage. Was a little disappointed. I was hoping they would have announced year 4. This would have been the stage to do it. But they just kind of said we have 35 million players, which is mind-boggling to how far that game has come. And especially it's on its year 3, the new DLC, which Dan and I frequently stream. Parabellum, that's one of our top games we stream, is Rainbow Six. And they're coming out with a documentary. And thank you for the follow, Clown is Chip. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Man Cave.
Welcome to the Man
Cave. They're coming out with a documentary. I kind of wish they would.
Thank you for the host.
Thank you for the host as well, Clown is Chip. I kind of wish they would come out with a documentary, how Dan and I play, and the unfortunate task of playing with our friends. Dan, were you expecting a little bit more out of Rainbow?
No. Well, I said no. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for a year announcement. I wasn't expecting anything more than another year. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? That's all I really wanted to hear from the Rainbow Six is. Give me another year. I didn't really expect them to come out and say, here, this is going to be the new updates, new features, or anything. Just something short and simple,
Yeah, I agree with you. I was hoping for them to come out and say, we have 35 million players, thank you all here, and for that, here is year 4. And I was really hoping for that, because they said their goal is to have 100 operators. They're still a little bit away from that, so... but the documentary is cool, but I'm not going to watch it.
I will.
I'm not going to watch it because I'm disappointed that you and I don't have the documentary.
We'll make our own low-budget documentary.
That's true. We should make our own documentary of us playing with our friends and how excruciating it is. Clownish, I do play Madden, GTA, yes, and Witch Walking Dead.
Played them all, beat them all.
If you're talking about the Telltale Walking Dead, yes. If you're talking about that horrible game that came out with Daryl, no. But one game looks great, though, and it's not a Ubisoft game, but real quick, I just want to plug it in, is that new Walking Dead game does look good.
Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, man, I was hoping to see some information on that during the C3, but dreams can be dreams.
Oh, supposedly it's coming this year, but yeah, again, I agree with you on that. And then also, before we move on to the final of Ubisoft, The Crew came out with another trailer. Dan played the closed beta. They are coming out with an open beta, June 21st. Dan, you played the closed beta, just real, on our past podcast you talked about it, but kind of real quick. I'll
go through the gist of it. If you want to know the full details, listen to last week's episode. I ranted on it, but game's good. Point system good. Level system's good. RPG version. It's kind of interesting. The driving mechanics, something to get used to. Not used to it. I like Forza driving mechanics better. But besides that, it's not a horrible game.
Clownish, if you're overall, you're asking about our Ultimate Team. I kind of stopped after a while. But just to kind of answer your question,
wants to know what you think about the game. Period.
Oh, when I think about the game, period, I think they need to take away the microtransactions in the Ultimate Team.
That will never happen.
I think it's. I know it won't, but it's pay to win, and I did try it out for a little while, and then I started playing people that were pay to win, and I just gave up on it. What I really want them to do is to finally focus on connected franchise, which
That's where EA makes their money, though. EA makes all their money in that fucking fantasy.
Yeah, I know they're jerk offs. That's why they've taken over. They took Activision's spot as one of the worst publishers.
Well, no. All right, and what did they end with? Let's throw it down.
Assassin's Creed. We saw some gameplay in the new Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which leaked as Assassin's Creed always does. Assassin's Creed never. There's not a moment. There's only I think one time Assassin's Creed never leaked. It's 100 years before Origins. It's in ancient Greece. The cool thing is, it's kind of expanding on its RPG elements. So you can either play as a man or a woman. You navigate branching conversations with dialogue options now. You change the story based on your decisions, and even pursue romantic. It is kind of starting to slowly gravitate towards having more RPG elements. Yeah. It did in Origins where you had to be a certain level to play a certain mission, or else you were going to get destroyed. Mm-hmm. I like the setting. You know, Assassin's Creed, I don't know how you feel about Assassin's Creed, Dan, but for me, it's all about the setting for me now, because there's been so many of these games. To me, it's all about the setting. So I didn't really like the setting of Origins. I'm not saying it was a terrible game. I just didn't like the setting. I love ancient Greece. I could see myself liking this game, and I love the new RPG elements in it. So, Dan, how would you know? I know you're Assassin's Creed as well. How do you feel about it?
I think it's cool. It's set during the Peloponnesian War, so I think that's really neat. There's the whole story behind the war. You can just Google it if you really want to know about it. But I really like how they added the consequences. I mean, that's a really great thing to add to Assassin's Creed. I'm really hyped about that. The gameplay looked awesome, awesome as fuck. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big Rome type of game player myself. What is that game? Rise was freaking awesome. You know, it was Rome, and this now is based in the Rome area. So I'm really super freaking stoked about it. And I'm really happy to see that come to the table.
Yeah, no, it looks awesome. I like the gameplay trailer. It looks a lot of fun. I was level on GTA. I believe I'm not that high. I'm only like a 70, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm around like 80 or something like that.
Yeah, we mostly did the heists and maybe like a couple of the other missions. But Assassin's Creed, I love the setting of Greece.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm surprised. I mean, it's coming out October 5th, 1 year after Origins. Now, I'm really surprised that this is happening, because they said last year, or the year they took off, that Assassin's Creed is no longer going to be a yearly release game. They're going to take a break every year. No, they lied to us. I think they probably saw the sales success of Origins, and they're like, you know what? We don't really have. I mean, this is their big quarter 4 release. So, I mean, Dan? Were you kind of taken a little bit by surprise that it was coming out this year?
No, no, I don't. No surprise. I just want to play it. Some ancient Greece, Spartan killing maniacs. You know, that's what I want to do. Do I know any mod or no?
You want to close out Ubi?
What did we miss from Ubi?
I don't really think we missed anything.
Alright, so yeah, that's it for Ubi. I guess my grade would be being a B-. It was good conference overall. Still better than the EA. And it had some good games. You know, I really liked Assassin's Creed gameplay. The brief of Good and Evil. It brought Destiny 2 with more information, more in depth with it, and they brought in some great 35 million player news for Rainbow Six. I know Rage Quit is super excited for Just Dance. He already proved it on Switch. So what's your take? What's your grade?
B- as well too. A little disappointed, really disappointed. We didn't see Splinter Cell. I thought Ubisoft was going to end it with the new Splinter Cell trailer, but they did not. I was also disappointed that, again, Rainbow Six didn't announce a year 4. Instead, we got a documentary that I could really care less about. And when, it made me think, they have 35 million players now. And the one thing that pisses me off about the game is that they cater more to 2% of the market. And what I mean by that, I'm not going to go on too deep of a rant. What I mean by that is they care more about those guys in those documentary more than the players like Dan and I that have stuck with the game since the game came out. And that's a little frustrating. But anyway, we'll save that rant for another podcast.
Yeah, I actually just noticed I was saying Rome when I was talking about Assassin's Creed. I meant to say Sparta, not Rome. Just a quick clear up. Rome wasn't supposed to be in there. It was supposed to be Sparta. So, all right, go ahead. You're great.
B-. The conference was good. Typical Ubisoft start, which was Just Dance. I'm very happy they don't have a terrible person on stage anymore telling horrible dick jokes and all that other crap. So I do miss Mr. Caffeine. If you don't know who Mr. Caffeine is, YouTube it. Ubisoft Mr. Caffeine. You will not regret it. It is probably the most hilarious and awkward Ubisoft E3 ever.
Mr. Caffeine. All right, that's good. What do we got going on next? Still got 2 more conferences.
Now we move on to the Sony conference, which at first was one big concert. Now
and intermission.
And intermission. So they started off with a concert, and right off the bat, they came out guns blazing. Last of Us. They showed, Ellie. You did not see Joel, however. We don't know where Joel is, but you saw Ellie, and she's kind of dancing. She closes her eyes, and boom, we're right in the gameplay. And my goodness, the gameplay is fantastic. And when I tell you that this game is more brutal than the first one, it is. The deaths are ridiculous. And The Last of Us 1 is one of the greatest games of all time. And boy, I cannot wait for the sequel. I am super excited to play the sequel.
Yeah, the gameplay looked freaking awesome, dude. Those kills, man, oh my goodness. I never seen kills like that in the Last of Us game. Those kills were definitely top level brutalness. I'm really stoked for the game. Believe it or not, I got to the end of Last of Us Part 1, but then I traded on my PlayStation, so I never got to finish it. It's on the bucket list, and of course I still want to play Part 2 desperately, so looking forward to that. Good strong start.
In the trailer, you didn't see any of the monsters, the zombies that are in the game. You saw Ellie mostly fight humans, but man, how about that axe to the face, though? Jesus.
Yeah, freaking arrow to the neck.
Yeah, arrow to the neck. I mean, the kills were brutal, and I'm really excited for it. We move on to they had did they have the intermission after this, or they?
Yeah, they had an intermission. After that.
Then we had about a 20-minute intermission, and then we jumped back into another concert, and we got to see gameplay for the new Sucker Punch game. Those are developers of Infamous, Ghost of Tsushima gameplay. It's an open world samurai game. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I haven't ever really been big into samurai games, but it's by Sucker Punch, and I love Infamous. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to sneeze. It looks pretty cool. Dan, what was kind of your take on it?
Honestly, I don't remember it. I wasn't too interested in this, so honestly, I really couldn't. It's a samurai game. I don't know, man. I'm not big onto those type of games, believe it or not. Actually, the trailer just went up now, so I really don't have much to add to this game at all, since I really have no interest in it.
I have minimal interest. Like I said, I do like Sucker Punch. They're a really good developer. But again, I never really played too many samurai games, so my interest is minimal. I'll probably wait to see what the reviews are for this game, though, definitely. Then we move on to Remedy, who is the developer of Alan Wake, the Max Payne 1 and 2. and the recently game came out a few years ago, Quantum Break. They're back to multi-platform for the first time since Max Payne 2. They showed off their new game, Control, which was revealed. It kind of, has the same gameplay elements as no, Ghost is it's Timasima's Sucker Punch. There's a game. It's a different samurai game you're thinking of, Ultimo. It's give me a sec. I have to pronounce it. It's Psycho. Shadows Die Twice. That's the one from Dark Souls. But Control kind of has similar gameplay style as Quantum Break, with more of like a supernatural twist. And Ziggy Yeti, thank you for the follow, man.
Welcome back, dude.
No, talking Ultimo. Both games look pretty good. So, Control on Remedy. Dan, what do you think about? I know have you ever played it like Remedy games like Alan Wake, Quantum Break?
No, I don't think I have. Let me think about that.
Well, Quantum Break, if you haven't
Cooper, Sly the Fox. I mean, that's the only thing I've played. Oh, yeah, Sly. I played the Sly series, and I'm trying to think what else they had over there, but I think that's the only thing I played from them.
Well, if you play Quantum Break, it's only about a 10-hour game. It's not that long. It's a good game. And Alan Wake, too, is a great game.
Yeah, I've seen the games before. Just haven't really played them.
Then we move on to probably the biggest announcement and the most game I couldn't wait for. Resident Evil 2 Remastered was finally revealed. Oh my God! Hopefully Dan puts it on YouTube soon. My reaction was ridiculous. I've been waiting 20 years for this game. Very excited. You kind of saw the first-person view of a rat, and then you kind of saw the police wrestle with a zombie, and Leon shoots in the back of the head. And they have gameplay for it as well. I saw some gameplay for it, and man, it looks like it's going to go back to that Resident Evil 4 roots. And whew, I'm excited, man. I cannot wait. And it comes out January 29th, and it's the third-person over-the-shoulder view. It's not doing the Resident Evil 7 first-person view, which is great. Dan, I know you saw my reaction. Resident Evil 2 remaster. What do you think?
Well, if it's going back to the old roots, I'm super excited. I love the first-person aspect. Wasn't really a big fan of over-the-shoulder. So, you said it was going to be first-person, right?
No, it's third-person over-the-shoulder.
Oh.
Like Resident Evil 4 and 5.
I'm a bigger fan of over-shoulder than first person, but I haven't watched any of the gameplay. But from the what I saw in the trailer, it looks pretty good. It looks like it is following the old roots in some ways, and I'm really excited. Maybe I should check out the gameplay, which for some reason I don't know why I have not looked at it yet. But I'm really excited to play it, even though I don't have a PlayStation 4 at the moment. But
it's not exclusive. It's multi-platform.
Oh, it's multi-platform?
Yeah, it's just Sony has the marketing.
Alright, well then I'm super excited even more.
Yeah, no, it's 100% multi-platform. Just Sony has the deal with Capcom to market. Same thing like they did with Resident Evil 7. They had the marketing deal.
Oh, alright, what else do we have on the list?
After that amazing trailer, which I did not get over after probably like 15-20 minutes it took me. Like we talked about before, Kingdom Hearts 3. I haven't played too much. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts. I know chat don't shoot me, but I mean the game looks gorgeous though. I thought it was a Pirates of the Caribbean game at first, but man, Kingdom Hearts 3 looks good. I can't really add too much, Dan. Can you add anything to Kingdom Hearts?
Well, we talked about it already. We got the same thing. It looks good. Excited to play number 1 a little bit. I want to see more. It looks like they have a lot more Disney characters, like a ton more Disney characters, which is really exciting. So it's definitely on the radar. Definitely picked it up on the Xbox.
Now we go to the Weird Game by Hideo Kojima, which I kind of get the feel after seeing the gameplay, which they finally showed some gameplay for. Kind of has that sci-fi horror feel to it, and that's Death Stranding. You kind of saw two enemies. In the cinematic trailer, you saw some monster with footprints that was invisible. And then you kind of just saw these in the gameplay trailer, you kind of saw these like shadowy like spirits. And if you get caught by them, they kind of pull you underground. Dan, I know we talked about in the past podcast that we were finally hoping to see something from this game. What are your thoughts now that you finally saw something?
Well, it still looks weird as fuck, but it looks cool at the same time. Like, I want to know where he got that baby from. Like, he just pulled a baby out of thin air or something? I don't even know. But it looks like that baby is a way that he is able to see the invisible creatures. But the game looks cool. They still didn't really give much information what exactly it's going to be or how it's going to play out or anything like that. I'm still really pumped up for it, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to find a trailer now, but I'm not having any luck. Oh, here it is. And I'm really, really hyped for it. And once they release some more information about what you actually do in the game, I think it would be better for me to understand what this game actually is. But besides that, the graphics look amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we were asking for a while, what the hell is this game? Let's see some gameplay. But yeah, you see the gameplay. Yeah, hopefully as time goes on, we know 100% more about it. It seems like a sci-fi horror game, but it's interesting. It's definitely getting a lot of eyeballs.
Oh yeah.
After that, we get some more samurai games. Neo 2 was announced. Very highly regarded game, kind of got under the radar, and the critics loved it. I know a lot of fans loved it. That just came out last year, so Neo 2 is getting which was a PlayStation exclusive, is getting a sequel as well. So I know a lot of the fans are excited about that one. I'm sorry?
When you ripped the toenail off? Oh my god, dude, I cried.
Oh yeah, it's disgusting. Oh my god. Alright. But I can't add too much to that. I just know Neo 2 is a very highly regarded game. And I know a lot of PlayStation fans loved it.
Yep. What's next on the bucket?
And before we kind of go to the final game, they showed off Destiny Forsaken DLC. Poor Cade 6, if you're still playing Destiny 2. Him and his ghost get shot and killed. So that's kind of the tease of the Forsaken DLC. And they showed some VR stuff, which I don't have VR, so I can't really touch too much on. But Spider-Man. So we got a lot more gameplay on Spider-Man, and they showed off a lot more villains that we can expect in Spider-Man. If you are familiar with Spider-Man, it's the Sinister Six. Dan, what did you think? I mean, the combat, just by looking at the gameplay, kind of has that Batman Arkham feel, which is fine, which is cool. I love it. And the web slinging looks very fluid. And Dan, how did you feel about Spider-Man?
Well, it looks great. Great villains. They came out there. You know, we saw Electro come out. We saw Vulture come out. We didn't see Dr. Octopus come out, but there are different Sinister Six worlds out there. Gameplay looks good.
Mr. Negative is taking his spot, it looks like.
The gameplay looks real good. The fighting looks good. It doesn't look like it's broken or anything. The web slinging power moves look really good. Graphics look good. Map design looks good. I don't see any flaws with this game so far. I just want to know who the hell he saw at the end.
That's the biggest tease. The annoying cliffhanger. The shadow enemy is called Mr. Negative. Or are you asking about Death Stranding? If you're asking about Death Stranding, I don't know. Those shadow monsters, we kind of have no idea. I mean, I can't. Dan, what was your best guess? I mean, they just kind of look like supernatural type, like demons almost.
I have no freaking idea. I couldn't even answer that. I have no idea.
But you know, like you were talking about Sinister Six, you know, Dr. Octopus, who was that guy at the end of the trailer? Many people think it's the Goblin because they they show Oscorp. So many people believe it's maybe either going to be Norman or possibly Harry Osborn, especially with the tease of the Sinister Six: Rhino, Scorpion, Electro, Rhino, and then it looks like Mr. Negative is part of that Sinister Six in this universe. This is kind of Insomniac's universe.
Sandman or Mysterio. Who knows? No, it probably won't be though. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
There's a bunch of different things. This is Insomniac's universe, so it's going to be a little bit different.
But Green Goblin sounds like the safer bet.
Yeah, my belief, I agree. My belief, it feels like it would be. I wouldn't think it's Norman. I think it would be Harry Osborn. And yes, Wolverine Origins is a fantastic game. I love that game.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Spider-Man. I was really hoping to see a Spider-Man exclusive console, which I was really hoping for. But besides that, I can't wait to get my hands on this game, period.
We could see it later on. Right now, I think they didn't announce it only because they're having that Let's Play promotion going on right now for Sony, and they have that exclusive, that limited time Let's Play console. So I think probably when that's all said and done, you could probably see a Spider-Man console announcement. I think they didn't want that overshadowing the console they're trying to promote now. That
Oh yeah, it could be. I saw the console. The console not too bad. Not the console I would buy, but hopefully down the road we're gonna see a Spider-Man console because I really want a Spider-Man console.
And the surprising thing is with this conference, like with Xbox did, Phil Spencer kind of said that they're hinting at a new console, in the works, as Dan mentioned in part one. But Sony didn't really mention anything about a possible PS5. We know that there's leaks of developers getting the dev kit for it already, but Sony didn't really mention it. We mostly got Sony showing their big 4 games, which we knew, a couple surprises, but all in all, great conference. This Sony's been bringing it at E3, so
nice, man. Yeah.
What did you think, Dan?
I thought the conference was good. We finally got to see a little bit more in depth on the game I really want to see the most was Death Stranding. Great surprise of Resident Evil. It was rumored a lot. Came true. We're excited for that. But out of all this, I was only excited to see Spider-Man, Death Stranding, Resident Evil's the bonus, Last of Us. I was excited to see, but other than that, I wasn't so excited for us. So I gave this conference a B.
I give it the same grade. I gave it Xbox. I give it a B plus. Both of them brought it this year. It's kind of hard for me to pick a winner. I know everyone always has that question: who won E3? But we'll get that at the end of part 2, and it'll be a tough choice who won E3, but we'll make that decision. But Dan, what do we got next in our final conference?
And the last conference of E3 was the Nintendo, which Nintendo came out pretty damn strong, ended pretty damn strong, and they got a lot of people freaking hyped up. Like, a lot of people hyped. Let's see. Let's run down the games. Some of these games I haven't played, some of these games I have, but there's going to be some talking involved. They did announce a Demon X Machina. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I haven't played it. Not interested. And then they also announced Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLCs coming in September. Never played it. Not interested. Sorry, it sounds like an ass. But then I got really excited for this. I got excited. I know Pat is really excited for this, and we're gonna see a Mario Party for Switch. Super hyped.
This year too.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for Mario Party. You know, they're delivering more multiplayer mini games, and you know, the Switch is going to have themed boards, dice rolls, mini games aplenty. You know, it's still focused on 4 players, and I'm really excited. You know, once this game comes out, you know, I'm going to be on there. Pat is going to be on there. We're going to bring in Diego in there. You know, I mean, we're going to take down everyone, man. I just want to see some bumper balls again. I miss this game so much.
As long as Mario Party is back to its roots, to where the mini games are very, you know, they're good mini games, but it's very competitive. And the problem with the later Mario Parties, which came out on Wii U and the 3DS, is that they were just, the mini games were terrible, and it just wasn't. It was gearing more towards everyone's a winner. Like, that's not what Mario Party is about. And Mario Party is about getting those bonus stars and your friends hating you for 5 minutes. That's what Mario Party is about. I hope it's back to that. I was really excited to see it. And it's coming out this year, which I was not expecting. I thought we were going to see it more next year. But, yep, Switch is continuing to pump it out, so I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, super excited for it. I cannot wait. And another thing they announced is Fire Emblem Three Houses brings to the series to Switch, which is cool. I know there's a lot of people that are really excited for Fire Emblem. Big fan. I mean, I'm not, but there's a lot of big fans out there for the game. And the sequel will revive spring 2019, which is good. You know, Fire Emblem looks like a pretty interesting game. I myself never played it, so I'm really not 100% sure. And then we all know that Fortnite is now available on Switch, that you can jump on and play. For the sake of being a streamer, I tried it out. I tested it. Still boring as usual. So it wasn't that big of a deal for me. Are you planning on downloading some Fortnite?
You know where I stand. No.
So he will be downloading some Fortnite. And then, of course, I can see a Pokemon Let's Go trailer. They showed a little bit of the Pokemon Let's Go. Looks kind of interesting. Not too much news. You know, it's kind of more of an updated graphics. Looks a lot more better than the other Pokemon games. You know, aspects are a little bit different, but other than that, it looks like it's like a regular Pokemon game in general. You know, you walk through the leaves. Oh, look, Pokemon. Let's capture this Pokemon. You know, it's the usual just a bit, which I will probably definitely pick up. But it does have that Pokemon Go type of thing on there, where, you know, you throw the fruit on it, and, you know, it gets weaker. So it does have that Pokemon Go type of gameplay to it a little bit, which kind of makes it a little bit different for a lot of people who are used to regular use Slash or, you know, the Pokemon skills. This is the stuff I have it. It's more Pokemon Let Go is like a Pokemon Go, but a Switch version. Have you seen any gameplays for that?
Yeah, I didn't jump in on the Pokemon Go craze, and I don't think I'm definitely going to jump in on this craze, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I was really hoping more for one of those classic Pokemon games like Yellow, you know, Pokemon Yellow and all that. I was really hoping for one of those kind of games, but it doesn't look like we're going to be getting that, which is kind of upsetting, but I mean, I guess we have to take what we can get for now. So, Overcooked 2 is coming to Switch, and it has multiplayer, so you can play with friends. And apparently, it is a lot harder now. So, let's start cooking.
I touched on a little bit of the first one, and yeah, it's definitely not an easy game. But yeah, maybe you and I could play, and we could cook some food and suck.
Oh yeah, it's like big time. So now let's see here. So they did say that Killer Queen Black is going to be ported over, coming later this year. no news that I'm not really interested in too much. So, and then they have Hollow Knight is coming to Switch, all DLCs included, which is kind of cool. I never played, so I can't really talk about that. Also, Octopath Traveler is coming, release date July 14th, and if you want to play the demo, it starts it comes out July 13th, and the demo starts July 14th. And the good thing is, if you play the demo and you end up liking the game, your progress will be moved over to the full game. So you don't need to worry about that. And before we jump into the main topic of the Nintendo, we'll just get a quick grasp of other games that they said were going to come. I'm not going to name them all. I'm just going to name certain ones. They said that Minecraft is coming, Dragon Ball Z Fighter is coming, the Crash Bandicoot is coming, Ark, FIFA, Wolfenstein 2, Mega Man, and another big one here, Mario Tennis, which is coming out, I think, next week. So that's kind of exciting. You there, Pat?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just listening. I'm here.
I said Mario Tennis, and you didn't say anything. I know you said you didn't.
It's coming out. I can't. I know. I have it reserved. I can't wait till I finally get it shipped to my house already.
So yes, Mario Tennis, I believe, is next week, and that's gonna be fun because I kind of miss those Mario Tennis games. I miss them so dearly here. So I'm excited for that. That's one game I'm definitely gonna pick up eventually, Mario Tennis. And then the big news coming out of the Nintendo conference was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which will have every fighter from the entire series. So every single fighter is gonna be in this game. The good thing is all your amiibos will work for this game, and a GameCube controller will be compatible as well for this game. And they also have the final Smash Balls. They're back. And competitive players. There will be a one-on-one matches as well. So if you want to 1v1 someone, the 1v1 is in the game. The Ultimate, Super Smash Ultimate will launch December 7th, 2018. Which I'm really excited for, man. This Smash looks crazy. As you can see on the screen here, this game looks incredible. A lot more characters. I'm really excited to see how the amiibos play out and all that. Being able to use the GameCube controller for the GameCube controller is going to bring back the feels that I used to love so much when playing. Pat, man, let me hear something.
I mean, I'm not very good at Smash games. I do play them just for the sake of, I want to just the competitive side of like having fun with friends and stuff like that. But I'm not relatively good at these games. I am going to pick this up because it is Smash and I have played all of them. But I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm probably not going to really win most games. I'm not very good at them. But hey, they're still great games and they're fun.
You don't have to be. I'm not a freaking champion or anything either, but it's still fun. Sometimes you get those lucky hits in, they'll smash them off, and I'm like, you suck. But in reality, you actually suck. But that's really all that came out of Nintendo. Nothing. They really focused a lot more on Super Smash than any other game. Like half our conference was Super Smash Brothers. But we all kind of expected that to happen. So, well, what would your grade be? What do you think about this conference?
I'll give it a B. Nintendo showed off, of course, their good exclusives and the Mario Party. A little disappointed, still no Animal Crossing. Still very, we still haven't gotten that. And again, yeah, we know heavily their main focus was Smash, and it looks great. It looks fantastic. So I give it a B. I mean, like I said, my own disappointment was, again, still no Animal Crossing yet. And, the good thing is we got the surprise of Mario Party, which, in past podcasts I've said that we would hopefully see it.
Yeah, I gave it a B minus. Super stoked for some of those games there. Only two games that really caught me, which was Mario Tennis, Mario Party, and Super Smash Brothers. It's the only three games that I really liked the most in there. So B minus it is, and that's what ended the conference.
So we go to the difficult question before we end the podcast here. Who won E3, Dan?
Xbox.
Why?
Well, you sound disappointed there. Xbox, because they brought the games. They brought the news, and they brought a lot more stuff than any other place did, and they brought some great news, some great games. They even spoiled a new Xbox hardware, which is exciting. New streaming service, game updates, new DLCs, new games, Gears, Halo, Forza, Metroid, Dying Light. So they brought a lot to the table this year when it comes to games, and that was really awesome. Captain Spirit, let's go. So Xbox won it for me.
It's not an easy decision because a lot of these conferences brought it to the table. I mean, my pick's honestly EA. I think EA's was very good.
EA?
Yeah, EA, they showed off a lot of good games. The gameplay for FIFA and Madden looked good. Battlefield 5 was fantastic, and just everything about EA's conference was good. The Command and Conquer, where the guys were commentating, that was, oh my goodness, blew me away.
All right, can you stop being sarcastic? It's scaring me. Gamers won E3.
Yeah, gamers did win E3. I could, what? Ultimo's right. Gamers won E3. It's difficult. PlayStation brought it. Xbox brought it. Nintendo. You know what? I can't pick a clear winner because Sony and Xbox were both great. Both of their conferences were fantastic. Nintendo, same thing. I'm gonna have to go with Ultimo and agree. I'm gonna say the gamers won. We won.
Well, we didn't win with EA.
Well, that's the only place we did not win with. But EA should just stop. We should get a petition that EA should never have to do a E3 conference ever again. That's why they do it alone, because they suck. They're terrible.
They have their own day, which is Saturday. When
they should just do
drinking.
what Nintendo does. Like Nintendo does Nintendo Direct, because when Nintendo did conferences, it was bad. So EA should just do the same thing. EA should just not even have a conference. Just release everything online. Like, all right, guys, here's everything. And that's it. Just don't do a conference because it sucks. You waste everyone's time. I wish I could get back the hour and 15 minutes, whatever the hell it was, I got back for watching that conference, but I can't. And they do this to me every year. Last year they did it to me too. I want to get it back.
It's not going to change anytime soon, so get used to it.
Yeah. But I'm going to say the gamers won. Like I said, I gave Xbox and PlayStation's both B+, so it's hard to definitively pick which conference won this year because both of them were fantastic. And they gave us everything we wanted, which was games.
Yeah, I agree with that. Gamers won. I mean, it was a tough choice in some areas. It was a good E3 overall. Very much enjoyed what I saw coming out of the conferences. Even EA had some good stuff with Battlefield. So, I was excited to be able to watch it and enjoy some of the games that were shown to us.
Yeah, it was awesome. This year E3 was definitely a big upgrade from last year's disappointment.
Oh, shit. All right, anything else we need to add in there?
I think that's it, my man.
All right, close it out.
Oh, is my turn?
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it on part 2 of our E3 podcast. Again, follow us on iTunes, Google, and Stitcher. Again, this is our first ever podcast doing a giveaway, so like us on iTunes, Google, and Stitcher. Give us a rating, and then go to innermomsbasement.com, click on the giveaway in the top right, and you'll get all the details. And also, thank you guys who followed as well and also who hosted. We greatly appreciate it. And, Dan, you have anything else?
No, I just want to say thank you guys so much for following and the host. Very much appreciate it. And we'll be back with another podcast in 2 weeks. And other than that, just keep looking out for our streams. We'll be streaming some Rainbow and other games. So thank you.
Look out for our streams. Right now, we have been streaming Rainbow Six, PUBG, Jurassic World Evolution that just came out, and also Vampire. So definitely be on the lookout for us in our streams as well.
Right.
And I am Rage Quit Pat, and that is Headshot Dan.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, and tune in next week for another exciting show.